So, welcome to my YouTube channel, our YouTube channel. Via Instagram, people have gave us questions on what to answer or what to talk about.
About the term.
Okay, the first
So,
one.
let's
So
go.
we're gonna introduce ourselves.
Yeah, introduce yourselves.
Start
over there. Who are you?
Okay. My name is Stacy.
Abdul.
Devin.
Ashley.
So, today's first question is,
First question. Can black people be racist? I think this is what, but I know it's
You
an
did not
unpopular
have to
opinion.
say the whole thing.
and we're gonna keep the people that ask these questions anonymous.
Yeah. So
Black people can be racist. Not where my phone at, so I can look up the definition of racism.
So, Stacy, go ahead with your
I beg
stance.
to
Why should you do
differ.
that?
I beg to differ. I don't think black people can be racist. Just because, like, the definition of racism is basically saying if one's comments about another race make their lives like harder or put them down on a level as far as like the system. So, for example, like white people, the terms that they place with black people and make everyday life with black people harder. So, if I was saying something about a white person, or if I publicly on like Twitter or Facebook put up a whole list of ways that I feel like white people are bad, it would not change their everyday life. But if it was the other way around, where like it seemed like everything that they say about us is glued on us every time we walk down the street. But with them, it's not. That's how I feel. Why I feel like black people can't be racist.
Well, Google says that the definition of racism is prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one race is superior to the next. If I think that African Americans are superior than white people, then that's me being racist. I'm thinking my race is better than the next. If I'm Dominican and I think that all like Dominicans are better than African Americans, that's the same thing.
That's
Like-
true. I feel like what you described, that's like being prejudiced and being like discriminative to another race.
Let me see what Google said about being
Discrimination and prejudice is different from racism. The Merriam-Webster definition of racism says in that racial differences produce inherent superiority of a particular race, which, like how I was saying, one's comments on another race pit them at a lower level. But black people can never be racist because we're at the bottom.
You said at a particular race, and just say this white people, and say this black people, and then say everyone except black people to a particular race.
So
are we not a race?
Okay, so are we talking about black people being racist toward white people, or black people being
Racism,
racist toward
period.
at anybody?
Period.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like if we're talking about race, we gotta be clear because most conversations when you bring up race is white and black. That's just the general time
but
of everything.
I gave three races, three
Races.
races. So and we
But even if racism is like
three different races, that's how
It's like a-
races.
Three races.
it's like a system. So like racism, who controls the system?
White people.
Exactly. So we're not
What
black
does
people.
that say that?
Black people,
Would
we're not.
would you really say white people do control? I would say mostly but the way how you gotta say it is most people that have power control everything.
And most
But
people that
most
have
people
power
are that
white.
have
Yeah,
power
most
are
people
white.
are
That's
white.
why I
That's
put
most, not
together
all.
that white people have.
That's most, not all.
So it's like even if you take black out the equation, white people at the top, what do they say about Mexicans?
They some hard workers.
They're some hard workers. They put up stereotypes like, oh, all they do is work on cars, all they do that. So that automatically have America looking at Mexicans in that light because That's what the white people had placed on them from the beginning. But like the stuff that make it hard for Mexicans every day. Even like take race out of it, Muslim people, it's out there that Muslim people are referred to as terrorists. It make everyday lives for Muslims hard because of what the top has put on them. There's a whole bunch of negative stuff you can say about white people from the history of what they did, but that still does not change the fact that they're at the top. It's not making their everyday life hard. That's what racism is describing.
Racism is a belief. It's a belief. It's not concrete. So because it's not concrete, because there's no facts, tags, because it's not that, you cannot it's not designated to one race.
So,
It's a belief.
Art, let me ask you something. The idea of most black people is that we're lazy, ratchet, violent, and just belligerent.
Okay.
Do you feel like that is why it's like hard to be black in America, because all those negative things that was placed on us? Would you would you say
Yeah.
because of that?
Okay.
Okay, so if I was to go online and say white people are ignorant, white people are racist, I don't necessarily feel like that. But
You say that there.
On camera.
if you was to go online and publish something that just talks bad about white people, do you think that would change the everyday life of a white person, or do you think that would change anything for like the system wise, white people being at the top and minorities being at the bottom? Do you think that's going to change anything? Do you think with your like with one group about any race group say anything about the white group, will you think that affect their lives?
It could. Also, talking bad about somebody or whatever does not equate to saying your race is superior. You gotta be specific. Saying your race is superior, like, oh, white people crazy. Oh, F white people. Like, nah, that's not the same thing as black people. We're just so above white people. Like, my race is the best.
And then that's nothing but doing the same cycle that they did to us.
I'm not saying it's good to do it, but I'm saying if all black people was to get on the bandwagon and be like, all right, we're gonna post this about white people every day until something in their lives change. Nothing in their lives is going to change based off what we say.
So no one ever did that yet. So if we do that, that can happen.
But because they control the system, it's like anything somebody put towards them is not gonna affect them.
Do you know that because of what? If it never been done before, how do you know?
I'll wait.
Hold up, say that again.
You said what you just said. Yeah.
If it never been done before,
Yeah.
how
If
do you
blacks
know?
never had
The time to step, like, I
the
ain't
time to
step
talk
up.
about white people as much as they talked about us,
I mean, well,
how do you know it's not going to change?
it's not a movement, but there has been comments made about white people from black people. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it don't change anything. They're still at the top. Just like it's stereotypes about black people, just like it's stereotypes about Mexican people, it's stereotypes, negative stereotypes about white people that's been out there mainly pit through minorities, like from anger and frustration for so many years. But all of those things have not affected the white race at all.
And that's probably because the system is controlled by most white.
That's what I'm saying. Like, racism comes down to a system. Yes, I agree. Black people can be prejudiced. Black people can be prejudiced.
Black prejudice is a synonym of racism.
It's not, but see, that's probably why our answers are different, because when you think of racism, you think of racism, discrimination, and prejudice all together. I don't think of it together. I think like it's separated.
Alright, so prejudice is a preconceived opinion that is not based on actual experience.
That's the same thing. Preconceived what? Opinion?
Yes.
Opinions equate to beliefs.
But it doesn't have anything listed in there about superiority or anything about people being at the top, about people being affected by your prejudice. Nobody, like, me being prejudiced or me being showing discrimination to a white person is not affecting them at all in their level. But white people showing discrimination to you, that's affecting an entire race of people. That's why people at the top, people who are of a higher level in the
Economics,
system,
social.
they can be racist. But for us, we're at the bottom.
Speaking racist.
I personally think that black people can be racist.
Can?
Yeah.
What you say?
Ooh, so, listening to Stacey, the only reason why I would say they can't is because of the superiority thing. But for the word prejudice,
What should be for the whole superiority?
in order to for
Yeah.
your definition, yes, we can be racist. For his, no, we cannot because his
I put
definition.
up Merriam-Webster.
That one's wrong.
You
Say
pulled
what?
up you pulled up the general Google version. That could be anything.
There, that Webster joint ain't the like. All right, whatever. I ain't ripping.
Alright,
Now that
so
we got all the answers.
So we not split.
we just gonna agree to disagree.
So with that being said, black people can be racist.
It's 2 against 2, so
Leave
First of all,
what you think, like how black people can be. Like, can black people either be racist or black people can't be racist?
And go online and
Do your research.
read
Don't
the
be
definition
like,
of racism.
come on,
Google the word. Who has
Google
time
it.
to go into it?
But wait, come on. He on the fence.
Because of your definition and your definition.
That's what I think.
Niggas
I think
get
it
that
all
right.
comes down to like the definition.
I think the way how I put it is, if white people can be racist, why can't black people be
Because
racist?
they're
I'm
superior.
Because we're not
Because
at a level
it's
to
a
make their
belief.
lives harder.
It's a belief.
Okay. So for that example, why can't Mexicans be racist?
Because they're minorities, so minorities can be racist.
Why can't Asians be
No.
racist?
Minorities can be
Can
racist.
blacks be racist against Mexicans? Because technically blacks are higher
Because
than
we both
Mexicans.
minorities.
That's the way how I
I
look
feel
at
like
it.
you can be prejudiced. You can show discrimination.
So only white people can be racist at all? Nah, I'm on their side. You just lost me.
It's not going.
So 3 versus 1. Say no.
We should not be.
Whatever your heart.
We love all people.
Yes, we do.
Zulu love over here.
We
Alright,
just
next
couldn't
question.
find a white person to join us. It's like
Y'all come back, to watch our next video. Alright? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and click the bell, because once again, for our next video, you're going to want to see it. Woo!
Also, I was rudely interrupted.
Rudely.
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 Rude.
R-U-D-E-L-Y.
Rude.
Interrupted.
Just rudely. This was your conversation.
Right.
Just
Just close the door. Like,
rude.
excuse me.
Just rude.